All right, we should be live now. Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing? We got some people early in the house. We got Kale130, who was first today when the stream went up. What's up, Kale? What's up, Kevin? We got Vic the Cat from the EU, who has an exam tomorrow, and asked why do these streams have to be at such a late time for them? Time zones are lame, indeed. We got Staying 2007, Donut Farmer, what's up, Scooter, hey, what's up, Craig Lilly, Chemical Aid, Luke M. Silver, let's see, who else we got? Staying is gonna go pick up a server, basically right now, and we'll be playing the stream on the drive, so hope you have a safe drive, yeah, hope you get a intact server ready to be used. Arflet has this week's tech drama ready. And they say it has to do with Nexon, the company. And let's see. I think Nexon, I haven't played games from Nexon in a while, but I think they made the finals. Or I might be confusing it with another shooter battle royale type game. What's up, Giant Robots? You made it this week. Yeah, what's up, Colin Schultz? We got Dilly Dickin. Oh man, in terms of drama, speaking of drama that's tech but not tech related, one of the PC builders in the community who stopped by the stream before, the moderator Dilly, if you guys saw the drama, it's not tech drama, it's more like streamer drama, but because Dilly from Bubble Tea Builds built computers, that was a kind of big piece of drama. I forgot when that happened last week, but yeah. But Dilly Dickin, your name reminded me of Mod Dilly from Sup Caitlin's stream, who blew up last week because of what happened. What up, CJ the Gorilla? What's up, Booth 732? PC Tech News and Unboxing. Yo, 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 Innate. John from the Net Guy Reviews. First, not even close, John, but how you doing nonetheless? What up, Shauner? What up, Nathan? What's up, Orenter? Will you review any of the new cards? Yeah, so funny thing about that. So the 4070 reviews went live yesterday, right? And I heard no word about it. But then all of a sudden yesterday, I get a notification that I have a FedEx shipment that's arriving. And it's from NVIDIA. So they did end up sending me a 4070 Super card, but they sent it basically, and I can't get a review out before embargo. So I'm gonna do something with the 4070 Super, and I'll do a proper video with it. I'll probably do a build around it, but unfortunately I did not get it in time. And even if I did, I'm not sure if I would have been able to. It's really hard to meet embargo for like these launches. So yeah, and then the upcoming 7600 XT, I'm gonna try to do a review on that too. So those are the two newest cards, and the 4070 Super obviously is the more expensive one at $600, and the other one is like gonna be $300-ish. So yeah, but more affordable cards coming out. I'm not gonna complain. But yeah, today I wanted to just, because I'm pretty sure most of you guys have at least started watching some of the reviews. I've looked at some of the numbers for this 4070 Super, and it looks pretty good so far. So we'll discuss that and take a look at the numbers in a bit. But we're just chilling right now, hanging out, waiting for people to come in. And I have two packages that I am going to be unboxing before we get into the rest of the stream. So these two, this is both fan mail, kind of. One of them is from the young man that me and John the Net Guy actually built a computer for back before Thanksgiving. So he sent something in the mail. And then I have one from a viewer. I have no idea what's in this one. They just sent it to me, but given the size of the box, I would assume it's hardware, but we'll see. So yeah, we'll get to unboxing this in a little bit, but just chilling, hanging out right now for the first, 5 to 10 minutes of stream. 4070 Supers are selling out everywhere. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you get a card that comes out that pretty much all the reviewers have had favorable things to say about it from what I've seen. I'm not sure if I've seen a negative review on it, but one second. Someone was at the front door. What's going on? We got a package. And do you guys hear that ding dong? I forget if the ding dong comes through or not on which mic. Yeah, that's a good question. Zero Yum. Anyone buy a 4070 Super? We'll talk about more of that later on stream as well, but I actually got a 4070 Super Founders Edition this morning before they sold out. Nice, computer guy. Where did you end up buying it from? Founders Edition one, huh? In terms of retail, is that Best Buy? Yeah, I assume Best Buy because they are the Founders Edition carriers. Dude, the 4070 Supers look clean. They say it's the titanium and black color. Yeah, it's like blacked out. Looks very nice. And $599 at about 20% improved performance over the 4070, which the 4070 itself sold decently well. People gave it a lot of crap, but for the people who only wanted NVIDIA, they still bought it. What up, Chris? How you doing? NVIDIA finally acknowledging our boy Danny. No, they sent the 4060, they sent the 4070 and the 4070 Ti. So I do get samples from them. I don't know, this time around with CES, it might have just been hectic all around. But hey, I'm just happy that they sent one so I could check it out. So I'm not complaining, by the way. Having less work to do before embargo is a good thing, in my opinion. The Super is not better than the Ti. I'm trying to think. Historically, I don't think a Super has ever been better than a Ti. It's always kind of slotted itself between the Ti and the non-Super, kind of leaning more towards the Ti side of things though. Like not really at that halfway mark. Do you get to keep the cards or are these cards that you get to send back? Yeah, so review samples you get to keep. So I usually just keep them on hand because they're useful for all future builds or comparisons, as well as when next generation cards come out, they are useful in comparing like gen to gen performance. So I have every single sample card I've ever received. I've never sold them, I've never given them away, nothing like that. Every sample card I've ever received for review from a company, I keep solely to use for future content or review comparisons. I'm torn. I have a 3080 Founders Edition. I want to give this card to my son to replace his. I'm really liking the 4070 Super Founders Edition for my rig. I don't know what to do. If you want a cheaper option, you could just get another used 3080, and that's noticeably cheaper than a $600 4070 Super. But if you feel like buying a new toy, then the 4070 Super at the $600 price point, I mean, it kind of makes sense. If you don't mind AMD, you could also go with the 7800 XT. Coalition Gaming Chris says, GPU reviewing is a ton of work. NVIDIA hasn't reached out since the 3080 launch, and that was like 2 weeks of work. Yeah. Reviewing a GPU, especially because you have to test it, and then if you find any errors in your testing, or if you find some weird anomalies and stuff like that, there's no references that you can turn to because, I mean, we have our friend group, the Tech Fam, but even then, a lot of the other Tech Fam, they don't do embargo day reviews, or they don't test like the Toasty Bros. They built around their 4070 Super, which is honestly I might do just because it's an easier way to get content out for it while still being able to compare it to other cards, but not do like a crazy ton of like basically testing all the cards up the line again. I'll test cards, like I usually do 3 to 4 card comparisons. What's in your main PC? It should be in the description, but it's a 12700K and an Intel Arc A770. Joe Greasy says 4070. I'm not sure if he's saying 4070s or 4070 Super, which I think would have had a capital S, is trash, but they're not happy with it. Do I do Chefe? What is Hefe's Up instant ramen? Is that a brand? Chef's Up? Or is that Chef's Up Front? Nope. What are you trying to say there, Shauner? But he's asking, is it instant ramen or grilled cheese? Do instant ramen, but make it fancy. Put crack the egg in it, maybe put some meat or Spam or something, some chopped onions, some cilantro, make it fancy. How cold is it where you are, Shauner? Oh, chefed up. Yes, yeah, chefed up ramen. Yeah, grilled cheese with tomato soup is, unless you make the grilled cheese like with some meat in it, maybe grilled onions, make that a little fancy. Make the tomato soup a little bit more like, put some herbs in it and I don't know, make it chunky. 15 degrees, yeah, both of them are nice and soupy, so either one works. Okay, so we're about 11 minutes in the stream, so let me quickly unbox these two things. So this is from Chuck and Noah again. Do I have the stream pulled up? Let me see. So this is from when me and John, the net guy, remember this? We built this the PC for Noah. Do we have? Oh yeah. So we built for a PC for Noah for the holidays, kind of like a charity build. Me and John, the net guy. So he sent this, and this has actually been sitting in my PO box. I don't check my PO box like every single day. So it's been sitting in my PO box for a couple of weeks now. They didn't send me a message on it, so I kind of found it after his dad emailed me. But okay, so let me unbox this real quick, and then we'll unbox the other box that was fan mail, and then we'll get into talking more about the 4070 Super. So there should be a way to quickly peel this open. Hey Danny, where did you get the green light in the back from? I made that actually. So I made that tube light. It's a RGB tube light that I made a couple of years ago. There's a stream on the channel showing it. I can pull it up after I get this piece of mail open from Noah. I just don't want to rip the insides. I thought there was like a quick pull tab on these things. Struggling to open a package here. But yeah, the stream on it, shoot, let me see. Let me see if I can find it. So I shows the whole process. Bam! This was I'll link it right here in the chat. But this is the video where I built this. I built those tube lights, and I'm still using them. Yeah, this was streamed 3 years ago, October 19, 2020. But yep, I built those, and they have been put to good use ever since then. Okay, so we have here from Noah. To nerd on a budget from Noah. So we've got a so we got a magnet from his dad, as well as, ooh, what is this? So his dad is actually the police chief. So he gave me a badge from the Chino Valley Police as a sign of thank you, as well as it looks like a coin. I forgot what these coins are called. The military uses them as well. But very awesome, cool. So this is from his dad, and then from Noah, he made a keychain in which he drew the PC build that he made, not the one that we made for him, but the one that he made from the Optiflex transplant, with an image from art class on it. It's very hard to see in the light, but high quality. This is a high quality metal keychain here. Noah, I'm not sure if you're watching the stream right now. I'll send a link to your dad so you can check it out. But thank you, buddy, for the keychain. I will put this with my keys. And then here's a letter. I'm not sure I'm going to read this on stream because, oops. Challenge coins. That's what it's called. The challenge coins. Yeah. Chino Valley, Chris. Yep. Right up your alley. Yeah. So I remember because I was never in the military, but I did JROTC in high school, so I learned a lot about the military, and we even had challenge coins for our JROTC wing. We were Air Force, but yeah. So the challenge coin, very nice hefty coin, something cool to have to like fidget with or flick around. So very cool. If this camera would ever focus, which it never does. But yeah, Chino Valley, Chris, down in California. All right, so I'm gonna open this letter that has my face on it, or my channel's face on it. It's a dog card from Noah. Oh man, how sweet. Maybe if I turn down the light, I think it'll show better. Yeah, so when the lights turn down, so I'll read this out loud. Dear Danny, Nerd on a Budget, thank you so much for providing parts and help to show how to build an epic PC on the stream and taking your time on Thanksgiving Eve. That was Thanksgiving Eve, wasn't it? To do that. I'm really thankful for that, and thank you for getting a new monitor for me. That was John the Net guy who had the hookup for the monitor there, but well, gotta give John props, you know, where props are due. And really cool, and giving me a really cool sticker, and I hope you had a good Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's Eve, because you will probably get this after New Year's Eve. So happy 2024 from Noah. Thanks, Noah, for the personal letter. I appreciate it. And thanks, Chuck, for all the different pieces of kind of like memorabilia, I guess, from your department. I appreciate it. So I will keep these in a safe place. So, all right. What's up, Tech and Gaming Galore? What's up, I'm Batman. What's up, everyone? We're just quickly unboxing stuff before we talk about the 4070 Super real quick. So just chilling. Let's see. So this next one is from Dawn. Dawn had asked me just to mention their first name only, as well as that they're from out of state. They're not from Washington, but that's about it. So keeping their privacy. So Dawn had sent me this message, or actually this package, and an email saying that they wanted me to open it on stream and wanted to keep it a surprise. So they did not tell me what was inside of this box. So we're gonna find out on stream what it is. Just given the size of the box though, if I had to guess, it's kind of the shape of a graphics card-ish size box, but it might just be something completely different. So Dawn, I'm not sure if you're in the chat right now. I think you said you would be watching the stream when I told you I'd open it on stream, but Computer Guy says, Danny, when I get the 4070 Super, I'll put it in Discord for sure. All right, so this is the package from Dawn. There's a letter inside, as well as, let's see, we got some bubble wrap. And oh, what is in here? I'm not sure if this is just, oh, hey, hello. So we've got a riser cable. Interesting. What company is this from? Okino's. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever used an aftermarket riser cable before. I've only used riser cables from, you know, if it came like with the case in a build. I've never used an aftermarket one before. Okie knows. Let's see, is there any details about this? I would probably have to look it up with regards to, you know, what PCIe gen it is. I'm guessing by this point everything should be like Gen 4, right? But all right, so from Don we got that. That'll get a riser out of Danny, right? Also, what do we have inside here? We also have a AVM mouse. So it looks like an RGB mouse. I think it's looks wired. Let me open this up. Let me check this out. Just more. Oh no. Oh, it's wireless. So wireless. One of these perforated style mice. Looks like it has RGB with USB-C in the front with a USB dongle. So it could be wired or wireless, because if you just plug it in to charge, you could probably also just use it too. All right. I've not heard of this brand though. AVM. I've not heard of this brand, but there's like a ton of different brands on Amazon. So come on, camera, please, I beg of you, please focus. Why is the autofocus on this so bad? But all right, so we got that. We also have cable ties. Oh, Don. Wait, Don, are you in chat right now? I've not seen Don yet, so maybe I'll send him the stream link if he's not here. But Austin Boom says, you're literally the reason I enjoy building computers and receiving old parts. Being able to use old parts nowadays feels nostalgic, low key. Thank you for making awesome videos. Austin, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. And dude, so there's a graphics card in here. I don't know what graphics card yet. I'm gonna take a look, but like unboxing an old used graphics card brings me as much joy as, sometimes even more joy than a new graphics card. So we'll get to the graphics card last, because that's an exciting one. Actually, this whole box is pretty exciting because it's just a bunch of random parts and peripherals. We got a i7 6700 here. This, oh man. So I myself had an i7 6700K back in 2016-ish. So this isn't the K version, but still, you know, back when Intel was doing non-hyper-threaded processors, this one was 4-core 4-thread, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like, what was up with Intel's older core and thread count game? This is a 13600K. No way. Okay. I was about to say, if he just, like, I don't know why someone would send me a new processor that's, like, still very relevant. But this is a 13600KF. If this camera would ever catch a zoom or a focus. But they actually upgraded. So this is actually the i5 11600KF. And Don is likely using the 13600KF. But dude, 11600KF is still very, very usable. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be using this in some kind of budget build. It's not that super old, so maybe it won't be a crazy low budget build, but this is still very usable. I'll find a good use for this for sure. All right. And the last part in the box is this mystery graphics card, which I have no idea what it is. Let's see if we can identify it without looking at the rear sticker. Oh wait, I think you were right. I think I misspoke. It was hyper-threaded, wasn't it, Chris? It was just 4 cores, 8 threads. It was the i5s that weren't. Oh wow, okay. So just by looking at this, without looking at the label, could you identify what card this is? It's an EVGA, so... Yeah, I was confusing the i5s. The i7s, I guess 4-core, 8-thread for an i7 at the era. Still sounded like kind of little, but yeah, the i5s at the time, oof. This is actually the GTX 950. Oh, now it wants to focus. It looks like it has trouble focusing on like white. But, all right, dude, the 950, when I look at this, I'm like, ooh, what fun content can we make with this? I don't know how popular the 950 was relative to the 960. I know the 960 at the time it was like relevant and new. It was a wildly popular card. I think I felt like in the time that was relevant, the 950 kind of got overshined. Like the 750 Ti was very popular, but then we went to this generation. The 960 got more of the shine than the 950, but this one is a 2 GB card. I mean, look at the dude. This thing is pristine. I'm not sure if Don cleaned this before sending it, but my goodness, for a card of this age, this thing is like spotless. They must have cleaned this. This thing is way too clean. So yeah, this, I mean, cards like this, I'll basically keep forever. They're not worth selling. Obviously, I'm not going to sell this one because it was sent to me from a viewer. But even if I got hold of one of these on my own, it's like the value of these have gone down so much. It's not worth selling for like the 30 bucks or whatever they're actually worth. It's more worth keeping as like memorabilia, as well as just for like a fun testing card, or just, you know, a low power consumption graphics solution on any random, you know, situation that you need it. So that's from Don. So we got 2 processors, some cable ties, a mouse, a riser cable, and this. Very kind of random assortment, but all very usable stuff. I appreciate it. Don, thank you for sending it. And then let me see this letter. If I think he said I could read it on stream. All right, so the letter reads, Danny, I'm an older computer nerd as many others are. I won't tell you how old, but my first computer had an 8088 microprocessor in it. I have been building my own personal computer since we were able to. I still game, and my favorite game at present is Starfield. I like Call of Duty and other first-person shooters as well. I watch your YouTube videos and appreciate your passion and your commitment to the PC industry in general. I'm sending you a couple of items I don't need and don't want to be involved in selling. Okay. I have a lot of people like that in my life, actually, like friends and family who, when they upgrade computers, usually when I help them upgrade, they have their old one and they don't know what to do with it. And I'm like, you could probably sell it and get money back. And they're like, I don't want to do that. So they just give it to me. And sometimes I offer to sell it and either give them the money or split the money, or they just say, you can keep the money if you sell it. So yeah, I know a lot of people in that situation. But one is a GTX 950 in perfect condition. It was indeed in perfect condition. I had it in my computer for many years until the more powerful ones came out. Also 2 CPUs, an i5 11600KF, and an older i7 6700, and a couple of other items I don't need. You can keep or sell or give away or whatever you think would benefit you best. Just my contribution to show my appreciation for what you do. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. FYI, my current build is a 13600KF, which we just saw from the box, a 3060 Ti Founders Edition, 32 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance 3200 DDR4, but in a 4x8 configuration, Corsair 4000D white, Corsair iQ white, H100i, Seasonic Focus Platinum, and Asus TUF Z790 Plus board. Very nice build, Don. Don, thank you for all the parts. I will make sure they go to good use, and I will cherish them. I appreciate it. All right. Okay, so I need to send those clips and that out to reminder to self to send it to Noah, Chuck, and Don. Okay. So yeah, you will likely be seeing some of this stuff in future content, and when I do use it, I will for sure call back to the people it came from. All right, so focusing on the chat now, because I was kind of focused on unboxing for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Maximum Tech, enjoy watching your videos. Love the LAN series as well. Makes me wish I was able to with friends. Currently saving for a new graphics card. Nice. How much are you saving for? What graphics card are you eyeing? There's a lot of decent options for graphics cards, both from current and last gen and in the used market. So I think right now is a pretty good time to build a computer if you're, you know, or to upgrade your computer. I think pricing on most stuff is pretty good. Sure, RAM and SSD prices have gone up a little bit, but given, you know, how good the used market is for graphics cards and everything else, overall, it's a good time to buy. Booger says, hi, I recently found you a few weeks ago. I've been binge watching your videos. Thank you a lot for being entertaining. Thank you for your viewership. I appreciate it. Would I attempt a $100 PC challenge? Yeah, I mean, I'm not against doing a $100 PC challenge. It's just my back burner of videos to do is always growing. That has been that and like a $200, $300 build. Those have all been on the back burner for a while. So the $100 PC challenge is basically you're gonna be limited to playing esports and you're gonna be cutting a lot of corners. And if you want the best price of performance, you're gonna be using a pre-built computer, just because you bundle on the motherboard, power supply, and the CPU, and sometimes RAM and storage actually, and even the case. So it's just like the $100 PC challenge, it usually boils down to only like a few like unique combinations of hardware that you can use. Unless, you know, you're one of those YouTubers who finds a perfectly good working system at a dumpster for $0. But if I did a $100 PC challenge, I wouldn't want to use stuff like that. I would want it to be at least somewhat repeatable. How is the PC flipping market right now? Honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't flip PCs. But Shauner, if you can chime in, or anyone else who buys and flips PCs, I don't flip PCs in the open market. Anytime I flip a PC or sell a PC, it's to friends and family. So I'm probably not getting the most profit in that case, unfortunately, but I'm helping friends and family out, so it's good. All right, so first poll of the night, let's start talking about the 4070 Super. Simple question, yes or no. No sitting on the fence on this one. Do you think the RTX 4070 Super provides good value in the current market landscape? Given the options that people have now, and let's just talk about new graphics cards. Obviously, the used market has better value. You don't need to repeat that. We all know that. But if you looked at the 4070 Super at its new price, at the performance based on the reviews that have come out now, at $600, does it give good value? And I think if your answer to that is no, then you will have to give an alternative graphics card around that same price and back up your reasoning as to why. I think it slots itself well in the $600 price point, especially since the 4070 did not take that dramatic of a price cut. That's reduced down to $50, right? So from $550 to $600, $50, that's about 10% of a performance difference. But the 4070 Super comes in closer to 20% better than the 4070. So that knocks that out of the way. But at $600, you can't really compare the previously $799 4070 Ti to it, which that's going to be phased out, and there's going to be a 4070 Ti Super, which we don't know anything about, but that's going to eventually come out. But at the time right now, at $600, I think NVIDIA given the performance, they priced the card in a happy medium where I think people will buy it without having buyer's remorse or without feeling ripped off, as well as without having to give any more than they need to, because AMD's next card, the next two cards from AMD are a decent amount more expensive or cheaper by $100 at the $500 7800 XT. So we've got about 2/3 of people saying it is good value, which, if you think about it, when was the last time people, like the majority of people, agreed that NVIDIA released a good value graphics card? Which card would you say that was? $4070 Super is a rare NVIDIA W, says Shauner. For the customer. 3070 was the last one, was good value, says Tavian Sharf. 2070, so people are going back a little bit for that. 3070 was good value at 500 if you could get one. Yeah, at the time, the pandemic screwed everything up on that one. The 4070 Super invalidates the 4070 from the market at this point. The 4070 is a bad buy in comparison. Let's actually take a look. And we'll take a look at the numbers in a second as well, but let's take a look at, so if I haven't even looked at, so if you want to buy a 4070 Super right now, you can't. Actually, let me see. No, you can. Is this readily available? So you got the Zotac Asus Dual. Okay. If I wanted to add to cart, it is sold and shipped by Newegg. These. So I wasn't watching Newegg when they launched, but I just saw a bunch of people earlier in chat say that they were sold out on release. But it looks like they're back in stock. Let me see if there's any delay or long wait on these. Doesn't look like it. Sold and shipped by Newegg. So if you wanted a 4070 Super, at least one of the more entry model ones, it looks like they're readily available. Yeah, a lot of them are readily available close to MSRP. This one, if you want the 3-fan version, nope, that's the non-super. So you can get white versions for not even that much of a premium. About a 5% markup on price. But then, so this one, these are sold out. What am I looking at back here? So there are a bunch that are out of stock. Wait, what's going on here? Am I in the Matrix right now? There's like these must have just come back in stock or been just newly listed, because we do see that a lot of these, even the ones that are like the more premium ones, right? Like the 700, 680, 630, these are all out of stock. And the way that it's sorted too, it's kind of weird. Yeah, okay, so I looked up, oh, no, I did not want, I looked up 4070 Supers, I sorted by lowest price. We see these lowest price ones in stock, but the way they've sorted it, they have ones for $599 down here. So, yeah, I guess if you are looking for a 4070 Super, you can get them, or at least add them to cart right now on Newegg for MSRP. Yeah, okay, so readily available, potentially sold out initially when they were released. Let me see what Best Buy stock looked like. 4070 Supers at Best Buy. Yep, you can get, nope, that's a 4070, man. Why are you showing me these? 4070 Super, okay. So, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. Looks like at Best Buy, you cannot get them. So again, Newegg, if you're looking for them, you got the Zotac, Asus Dual, MSI Ventus. These are sold and shipped by Newegg. Our triple fan cards sold out. No, not all of them are sold out. It's just you got to pay a little bit more. Like these ones look to be in stock. MSI Gaming, Gigabyte Super Gaming, 4070 Super Trinity. It's just you got to pay $50 more, which is what? 50 on 600. That's 12%, right? No, is that 8%? Yeah, it's all 8%. I want an EVGA card. Lol. Too bad. Micro Center sold out before noon here in Denver. I mean, unless you're in like a huge rush, I think these are gonna go back in stock in the next couple of weeks. So unless you're dying for a system like right away, if you wait, you can get these. Plus the newer cards are coming out, so you can see if you want like any of the other ones, like the 4070 Ti Super. Denver Micro Center is kind of booty. I'm still getting the 4070 WindForce OC for $550. Cammy Hudson, Micro Center sold out by 1 p.m. in Cleveland. Micro Center prices on release day shouldn't be, I mean, I don't think they were selling anything under MSRP. So I don't see any reason to specifically get them from Micro Center unless you wanted it in your hands the day of, as opposed to, or if you wanted like a specific model card. But if you don't mind, you know, some of the more entry models, they are available. Stimmy God 23 though says, I'm still getting the 4070 WindForce OC for $550. So I guess my question here would be, are you really hard stuck on that, like your budget where you can't move it another $50? Or maybe you're getting this used or something, so then it'd really be like $100 because of the taxes and stuff. But it seems like there would be zero reason to get a 4070 at this point in time, now that the 4070 Super is available and you can get it at Newegg. Stardom Plays says 4070, 4070 Super, 4070 Ti, 4070 Ti Super are all trash. 4080 and above essentially, and 7900 XT and XTX are only cards you should be looking at. And doing this one right here. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the numbers. This is kind of a big claim. Obviously, cards, it's really hard for cards to be trash. It's more like trash prices, but I think I know what you mean. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the numbers. So I pulled up some of the reviews that has like good summarized information here, right? So here's Tom's Hardware, and just to take a look at we're just gonna look at averages here, just because I don't like looking at benchmarks and performance numbers on specific games, just because in any given game you could have a skew towards NVIDIA or AMD or for a certain card. I like looking at averages more than anything else. But if we were to take a look at the performance numbers here, so if we look at the Super relative to, let me zoom in more so we can see it better. So the 4070 Super comes in at about, let's just round this up to 48 versus like 41. So performance difference versus the 4070 from what they're showing here is about 20%. A little bit less than 20% here, compared to a 7800 XT, which is $100 less. So $500 versus $600, it is well above 20% on average faster, which is good, right? Because the 7800 XT, it's a card that did not really receive negative reviews on. Though it didn't receive a ton of praise either, just because it wasn't that much of a step up from last gen. But it was considered a card that if you were in the market and had that much money to spend, $500, 7800 XT was a decent buy. So in that regard, if you spend another 20% from 500 up to 600, $100 off of from 500 to 20%, you get a very similar scaling with the 4070 Super, according to Tom's Hardware. Just looking at the performance relative to everything else though, if you look at the 4070 Ti at 52 FPS here versus about 48, so that's 4% off 48, that is about a 10% difference almost. So 10% difference here, but price-wise, the 4070 Ti, did we see the pricing on there over here? 4070 Ti. 4070 Ti, let's see if the price moved. So it's down to 730 about. 730, 740. So price-wise, from 600 to 730 though, that's still about 20%. So we look back at this chart. You're getting, between the Super and the Ti, you're only about 10% like slower in performance, but you're about 20% cheaper. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to buy either the 4070 Ti or the 4070 anymore based on these numbers. Now, this is just one review outlet's numbers. I also like Hardware Unboxed because they do these awesome average charts. So 4K, so 1440p average. I don't care about ray tracing. We can look at ray tracing in a second, but we look at the average in rasterization. And this is nice because they do it in all three resolutions. But honestly, I think for the 4070 Super, I don't really consider it a full 4K card. I think it is a true good performer at 1440p. And if you're still playing at 1080p, I don't know why you're buying a 4070 Super. You could get like a much lower end card that's like half the price and still blows 1080p out of the water. So I think 4070 Super, for the most part, is a 1440p card. So we're gonna look at those results. And Hardware Unboxed, do they see similar numbers to Tom's Hardware? So let's see, 105 versus 4070, 88. Let me do the math on this real quick. 105 divided by 88. 19%, yeah, so 20% faster, which is the exact same outcome that Tom's Hardware found. But if we look at the 112 versus 105, you're looking at it. They only found it to be at 1440p anyways. Hardware Unboxed only found it to be the 4070 Ti to be 6% faster than the 4070 Super, whereas Tom's Hardware found it to be 10%. I mean, different testing methodologies, different games, different settings. You'll get, swings in single-digit percentages difference. Let's see. Now, if we compared it to the 7800 XT here, we're looking at 105 versus 93. So we're looking at about a 13% faster than a 7800 XT, but in ray tracing, it's probably going to crush it. Let's take a look at that real quick. 1440p ray tracing. So we look at the 4070 Super versus 7800 XT, 83 divided by 69. You're looking at 20% faster, but it is 20% faster in performance. So just based on this, I'm actually surprised that it doesn't do a lot better. The scaling for ray tracing here, between the 7800 XT, 69 to 83, and the 1% lows is fine. They scale too. You're looking at a 20% difference for a 20% increase in price. That's a little bit surprising to me because I would have expected the 7800 to either do a little bit worse or 4070 Super to be better. The 4070 Super and Ti is like the perfect 1440p card. The 1440p range is so big. Like, I would say even going down, okay, maybe 4060 Super, or the 4060 base, sorry, not super. The 4060 base can start handling like older games at 1440p or esports titles at 1440p, but I would say it's not a true 1440p card, but it's like you could start dabbling in it. So that means you go from 4060 all the way up to even 4080 if you're doing like ultra, like ray tracing, all that stuff. You'd be playing more likely at 1440p than 4K. But does anyone feel like ray tracing is a gimmick? Only like 2 games really utilize it well and not tacked on. That's actually a good question. So I'm gonna end the poll. So we got a 60-40 split. 60% of the chat feels like the 4070 Super is actually good value, and 60% thinks it's good value, 40% thinks it's not. But now, as we go on, like, I always like to ask the ray tracing question because as time goes on, technology improves, cards are more capable of it, and games implement it more. But it always goes back to, do you care about ray tracing performance? Ray tracing performance, yes or no? And not only do you care about ray tracing performance, but similar question is, do you use it? And if you do use it, then it's kind of that you care. But I still am not a heavy, I guess, not user, because I never turn on ray tracing, but I'm not a true believer. I don't know, man. Looking at ray tracing versus like ultra max out settings side by side, you see the differences. You see the reflections. You see like, you know, the lighting and everything. You see that it's a difference. But that's not saying that ultra max settings looks bad. It's just different. I personally think like ultra graphics on like AAA titles and stuff, that looks good enough for me to play through the game and not ever really ask, oh, can I get ray tracing on it? I wish this had ray tracing. But I don't know. According to the votes so far, 70% of people are saying no, they do not care about ray tracing. Neo Satori says ray tracing is dumb in my opinion. Magnus says no, don't care about ray tracing, but path tracing is nice. VictorCat says ray tracing will not be in gimmick in like 7 years. I'm not saying that there's no use cases for it. And I'm not saying that it doesn't make, you know, that it's not going to be what helps makes computer gaming and graphics look even more like realistic to the point where you might not even be able to tell real life. But right now, I don't know. I'm just not utilizing it. Ray tracing, when I was a kid, we had to trace our own rays by hand uphill both ways, says Craig Lilly. Ray trace Minecraft is rad. Let me see if I could pull that up side by side. All right, let's see the side by side ray tracing. Oh, come on. So here's Minecraft ray tracing, which I'm not even a Minecraft player, but RTX off versus on. And it's, okay, we need to go to a different section. Let me see this again. Let's see if there's a better, I think for Minecraft, the water is like the most impressive thing. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I've only ever been impressed by the water scenes for like Minecraft. Here's it on and off. So this one's a little bit darker. This one's more lit up, but like the lava and the stones, they don't look that much more impressive with ray tracing enabled. All right, let's go to some, okay, here we go. This, all right. So we've got a big cityscape with water, and when you turn it on, you can actually see the city in the reflection of the waters, and everything else is like brighter. You'd have to go up closer and see like the glass on the buildings and stuff like that. To oh, here's another one, Neon District. Okay, I see. I mean, it's just brighter. Votes so far are still 70-30 70-30 split, with the majority saying no, they don't care about ray tracing performance. Extreme Zone does admit that Cyberpunk and Minecraft do indeed look pretty good with ray tracing. Yeah, Minecraft, I'm not sure if is the best example. Extreme ray tracing versus, okay. And path tracing as well. This is performance numbers. Yeah, I wish, where's the side-by-sides? Oh, here we go. Yeah, if we were to look at these side-by-side, maybe that's not the best scene. Let me try to find a better scene. I don't know, like just looking at these three on a playthrough of a game, there's a difference between loading up a game just to walk around and like stare at the street and puddles in the ground versus actually playing the game. Like, I'm assuming this is ultra graphics and my head's blocking some of it. I'm trying to see like the difference between the three. If you look at the performance numbers, don't just look at the image, but also look at the performance numbers. I mean, you're going from 113 to 54 to 33. Here we go. Here's a pretty scene right here. All three of these. I don't know. Does the left look that much worse to want to enable ray tracing and take a hit in performance? Yeah, I think, let's see, these three side by side. This one, I would say, this of the all the scenes we just saw, this one, it makes a huge difference. You need to be moving around to really get the effect. Yeah, but when you start moving around too, you start seeing those, the frame rate drop. Look, I'm not saying I would never turn ray tracing on, but at this point in time, it's just, it doesn't do it enough for me. I mean, if you think about it, this is NVIDIA's third generation of it, right? So it's still not super new, but it's still, I guess, relatively early. What year was the 20 series? That was 2018, right? So I guess we're 5 years into it now, but the third generation of it, so. Look at NVIDIA's Half-Life ray tracing. Half-Life RTX, here we go. Here we go. Wait. They just did? You're talking about Half-Life 2 RTX, or are you talking about something else? This looks awesome. Wait. This is not just RTX off versus on. There's much more going on than this. Are you kidding me? It looks like new models and textures. Okay, wait, do they show us side by side? So, I will admit, this looks super good if you compare it to this. But, I want to see what this looks like with ray tracing turned off, because they didn't just turn ray tracing on with this. This is like a remake. Are you kidding me? This is all ray tracing. All you do is flip on ray tracing. There's a newer one that show gameplay. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so Let me see. This one right here. I turned ray tracing on for the original Mario. It was incredible, right? You basically get the Mario movie. Okay, ray tracing here. Okay, here we go. So this looks like the remake with and without ray tracing. Wait. Is this with the new models, the assets? I'm trying to see. No, the wrenches look way too low poly for that. Honestly, ray tracing feels super niche in the games it looks good in. I mean, looking at the votes so far, after 100 votes, we still have a 2/3 to 1/3 split where 2/3 at least of the people here don't care about ray tracing performance. Doom on a calculator versus Doom Eternal. Exactly right. So how did we even go down this RTX? Oh, because we were looking at the performance numbers. Sorry. But with regards to the 4070 Super, I mean, I'll be playing with it in a couple of weeks here. Let's see, $600. What would be the cheapest viable build you could put a 4070 Super into? Probably around $1,200, right? Obviously, you can get it cheaper if you start skimping out on stuff and like going low end on CPU. But realistically, if you wanted to build a decently balanced PC, $600 card with $600 in the rest of the components, probably closer to $1,300. And then you can get a pretty banging computer. You could probably make it work for $1,100. Let's do it right now, actually. If the games I'd play had ray tracing, I'd have it on all the time. Let's assume, I forget what graphics cards you have, Demon Mitt, but let's assume you had a 4070 or 4070 Super and that you were playing at 1440p. Would you indeed turn it on all the time, even given the performance hit? And I'm guessing you're going to enable DLSS. But, all right, $1,100. I'm thinking we can't keep it under $1,100 before tax. But let's see. Let's start the build off. All right, so we're going to do $1,100 attempt to. I don't think it's going to be possible, but we'll see. So we'll choose a 4070 Super, just whichever one, just to fill in the price. We'll grab the Asus Dual one. Actually, no, where's the Founders Edition one? Let's use the Founders Edition. Is that even here? It's not even on here? The pricing isn't even on half of these, so I'm gonna just have to choose the Dual to fill that in. All right, we have $600 left to spend on stuff. We are not getting anything less than a terabyte. which is gonna already eat up like $50 of the budget. 1 terabyte SSD. All right, it's gonna be similar. Okay. Even MP33s. I think they were this much last week, but remember when these things were like $40 flat? Now they're up to $55. Okay, let's stay under 60 for the SSD. The Sabrent Rocket 4.0. Here we go. Okay. How much was the 980 Pro? Where's the 980 Pro at? It's not even coming up. Is it more expensive than $80? Yeah, we're not using a 980 Pro, guys. Come on. We're trying to fit this into $1,100 here. And every dollar is kind of going to count. Yeah, it's way over budget. Oops, I added 2. All right, so we've got that out of the way. For 4070 Super, I didn't look at the power draw on it. Let me see. Where is the power draw? Gamers Nexus review should have it. Power consumption. All right, we're looking at Furmark 222. Okay. We should be good with like a 650. What do we got in terms of... I forgot. PC Power Picker is already going to do it for us. All right, what do we have in terms of options here? Thermotake Smart BM3. Okay, power spec of EVGA Galaxy, a lot of EVGA stuff. I think in BM3 looks like the only one that, yeah, CX750M is $80. BM3 here again. What the heck? Okay, sure. 650 watts, $80, or 750 watt is $70. Are any of these EVGAs? Let me check. Are any of these even remotely decent? Okay, not the Galaxy, not the Premier. Nah, okay, nope. The power spec one's also C tier. So we're looking at C tiers basically. We're on a budget here. Is NZXT? Yeah, NZXT power supplies for the most part are... I don't think I've seen in recent years like a mainstream one, you know, readily available on like Newegg, Amazon, stuff like that. Lower than C tier, but where are they at even on here? Yeah, no, we're starting to go up in price so fast. 750 watts for $70, and this is a the BM2. What's what, a C? Yeah, BM2. This is assuming the internals are similar to, and this is kind of like a refresh of the BM2, and they only improved it. 750 watts for $70 is the best that we're going to be able to do right now with Thermotake. Is the Premier C tier? Because I could not find it at all. No, I think you're thinking of the Prestige. The Prestige from EVGA is C tier. But, alright, we've got that. We're going to... Oh, dude, with the case, oh boy. The case is where we're going to be saving some money here. We're going to try to keep it under $60, hopefully. Ooh, DIY PC S3, huh? This actually doesn't look that bad. For $52. Demon Mitt says, I wouldn't want to pair the 4070. Yeah, so that's why we're doing everything first to see how much money we have left for a CPU and motherboard. But, I mean, I'm thinking already we're going to have to go DDR4 platform just to save that every dollar that we can. All right, for a case, what do we even have here? Montech Air 903. Yeah, that's the case that we saw. 65 bucks. Air 903 base. Pretty simple case. Yeah, but why? As much as I like to meme on DIY PC, let me look at this case real quick. This is $53, free shipping and handling. It's a mid-tower. It's got 3 ARGB fans. We don't even know if they're true Oh, they are actually ARGB. Wow. Interesting. They might be Molex and have a crappy crappy controller. But I think we're doing this case because the other one was 65 bucks. That's a $13 difference. We need to save as much money as we can without totally going like Q300L, right? Julian Zaro spamming the chat. I shouldn't even answer your question, but what do you think I should upgrade in my PC? Radeon 5700, 3700X, Corsair, 32 gigs of RAM, B450M motherboard. How are you going to ask this question without even giving us how much money do you have to spend? We could say, get yourself an RTX 4090. It's a huge upgrade. You asked an incomplete question. You have $450 to spend? I mean, the clear answer for me here is to get the most bang for your buck is the graphics card. So what is in the used market? That's what, RTX 3080. In the new market, that's a 7700 XT to a 7800 XT. A graphics card is going to give you the most bang for buck performance uplift in your system. Because if you get a new CPU and you stick with that RX 5700, it's not going to do you much good. So graphics card, you sell your old GPU and you buy the best graphics card you can for the money. I don't know if you're in tune with the used market, with the inherent risks, all that stuff. But you're either getting like a 3080-ish used card, or I guess, how much are 6950s going for right now? Let me do a quick check. Or like 6900 XTs. Because for 400 bucks, those are kind of crazy performance too. Or 450 bucks. You can get a 6900 XT for around 500 bucks at the moment. So yeah, you're either getting 3080, 6900 XT-ish, or a brand new 7700 XT, 7800 XT. Depending on how much wiggle room you have, because the other ones are going to be like 500-ish. All right, back to this build. Yeah, dude look desperate. I know. The thing is, people ask questions in chat, and I try to answer, but when we're trying to do like a build list, I do have to kind of keep on task. And that's where I try to have the chat help out other chatters with it too. So to people who do, you know, help out and answer questions when I'm clearly distracted trying to put together this $1,100 4070 Super, I thank you for it. It is very much appreciated. See ya, Lukaka. Heading out of stream. Take it easy. Have a good night. Okay, so now we're back to this. Assuming that you're going to use free Windows or cracked Windows or whatever. I'm not saying I am okay and that I'm endorsing people cracking Windows, but I'm just saying we're not going to be spending $100. We're not even going to be spending $25, not even $15 on the operating system. Okay, you figure it out. All right, so we've got, yeah, but for the case with regards to Demon Mitt, your comment, either case works. I just chose this one because it came with 3 ARGB fans. Plus, I've actually never used this case. I do like the G300A. It's a good case, even though it comes with a single fan. It will be enough to cool the... Either or works. I'm just putting a place... There's a ton of cases between $50 to $60 you could potentially use. We're placeholdering it with this. But yeah, G300A would be a case that works well too. All right, so... we have $320 left. We need motherboard, CPU, and RAM. I'm already going to say it. We're going DDR4. Just because there is no motherboard, RAM, and CPU combo that I think fits in $320. Just because RAM, even though RAM is cheap, RAM surprisingly bites you in the butt if you don't accommodate for it. The question is, are we even going to be able to fit DDR4 RAM in at 32 gigs? Because that's going to eat up $70 of it. You see how quickly our money is going down now? Yeah, I agree. DIY PC, for the most part, it feels as cheap as its name and price implies. And whereas pretty much almost every other company in that price range feels way more premium than DIY PC to the touch. Okay, so we have to go DDR4, but the thing is, would you be okay with 16 gigabytes paired with a system with a 4070 Super? I would say no, personally, but most people in the chat, I don't know what corner some of y'all are willing to cut sometimes to get a build this cheap. I'm saying we try to fit 32 gigs in, but then it's going to be questionable what CPU we're going to be able to do. Let's see, 32 gigs. Let's just look at, we're going to be looking at, what the heck? Where are the... I can't just like pick 32 gigs. I have to do it by the configurations. Okay, give me a second here. 2 by 16. We could also do 4 by 8. I wouldn't mind that. I'm not sure. That's not a common configuration though. Where's 4 by 8 at? Am I blind? Oh, 4 by 8. And we're looking at, okay. Oh, we can get stuff as low as 3,200. Ooh, this is CL22 though. This is some slow stuff. Okay, so 52 bucks. 3,200 CL16. Yeah, here we go. So we got some silicon power type stuff here. I think this is gonna be as cheap as we can get it. 55 bucks. G-Skill, Oloy. They're all like 10 nanosecond. We could get RGB. Okay, we're just gonna choose the silicon power gaming 3200 CL16 for 55 bucks. All right, we've got $260-ish left. We're just gonna use a stock cooler, unless we could have $20 buffer to get a tower cooler. $1,108 counts. If you could afford the 4070 Super, you could afford the extra 16 gigabytes. Yeah, I agree. I didn't think that, I forgot, because we did look at this the other week too. I forgot that 32 gigabytes was like under 60 bucks. For some reason in my head, and I'm probably thinking about like the RGB ones and from like Corsair and stuff, that those start floating towards $70-ish. But yeah, at $55, versus what, 35-ish or something for 16 gigs, it makes sense just to go the 32 gigs. All right, we have $260-ish left. Motherboard, let's just reserve about 100 bucks for, maybe even less actually, if we can find a, what CPU are we pairing with this thing? We're not gonna go anything that's, let me see. All right, so we're gonna for sure try to stick LGA 1700 and AM4, but among these, if we were trying to pick something around 160-ish dollars, where we have 12600K is one. We actually might be able to make this work. 12600K versus the 5600X. It's gonna be these two. Just according to PC Part Picker anyways. Yeah, it's gonna either be 12600K or 5600X. They're still releasing AM4 motherboards. Or 330 for the 12, that goes over budget. We don't have 330 to spend. That's why when I initially said, I think this is gonna be for like a $1,200-ish build, but Shauner said, do you think it's doable for 1100? And we are showing that it is doable, but we're going to be choosing a potentially underpowered CPU where you will get a CPU bottleneck, which isn't the end of the world, because you were going to get a GPU bottleneck otherwise. 12600K versus, and now remember the motherboard. I think we're going to be able to find a hopefully $90 motherboard, but pulling spoilers on the Aorus. Actually, let's take a look at the build when it's all done, all said and done. Remember, we're putting a $600 graphics card with $500 paired with parts. But Ryzen does have better priced motherboards, especially if you care about like overclocking and stuff. I'm kind of leaning 5600X because of the potential that you'll have after the fact and cheaper motherboards, and we'll be able to fit a tower cooler a lot easier. We're already going to struggle trying to find a Z690 board for this 12600K because we're going to have about $70 left to spend. We go in. Wait, does the 12600K even come with the cooler? It doesn't, right? So not only getting this, you don't get a cooler. You also, so you have to effectively add like 15 to 20 bucks to this. Yeah, so that's kind of out of the question, which leaves, if we back up, the 12400 F is a lot more affordable, as well as the 5600X. 7500F, we're gonna assume you gotta be able to buy it from like the States and stuff. You could 7500F from AliExpress or any of those other, but we're trying to stick it to a true PC part picker build here. Just buy the Lenovo Office PC that everyone uses and put a 4070 Super in it. You could. Let me see. This is where you bump your budget up to 50 bucks to secure a better build. You could. All right, we're gonna do a vote on this. I'm leaning towards 5600X, but we're gonna go with. Actually, I'll put the 12400F in here too. Remember the budget though. I'm gonna go with it, and if we go over budget, it's your guys' fault based on the votes. I'm going 5600X just because motherboard pricing is cheaper, comes with the cooler, upgrade path is better in my opinion, but obviously all those things compared to whatever the PC is at this point in time, you know, some of those things don't really matter. Will pre-builds offer the 4070 Super at launch? I mean, I would think that system integrators will indeed start using it because they're discontinuing like the 4070 Ti. I just did it with the 5600X Montech case, 32 gigs RAM, under 1100. That was with the tower cooler. Could ditch that and save 22 bucks more. Yeah, so it's doable, but I don't know how many people actually have problems. So yeah, more votes are coming in for the 5600X over the 12600K and 12400F. So we're gonna put that in because that's what I wanted to originally put in. Anyways, all right, we have 120 bucks left. If we can get a $100 motherboard, we can get a $20 cooler and call it a day. But let's see what we have in terms of motherboards. So we got the A520s, the B550, low-end models. We got a little bit of flexibility. We could get a board that, you know, works well now, and if you decide to throw in a 5800X3D or any potential new CPUs that AMD might come out with in the coming years. What do we got here? Actually, let's see. If we even filter it out by USB-C, do you really only get one board? Jeez. Wait, all is selected. All right, we're gonna take this back down. Let's see what options we have here. Asus Prime board. Here's the B550M Pro. Okay. Asus Tough Gaming A520. So, I mean, boards get as cheap as 70 to 80 bucks. You can go back to B450 too, but let me take a close look at this board. Keep the well, the case that we chose is a mid tower. In this case, I don't mind using a micro ATX board and then changing out the case for a micro too. Like the mismatch of ATX case and micro ATX board, because this is like a financial exercise almost, it's not the end of the world to mix and match because you could just change out a different case. We're trying to just get the total under $1,100 before tax. Board wise, honestly, I'm thinking of going with the B550M Pro just because everything else before it are they're all very, like, look at this. Not even USB-C. I don't think we're gonna get Wi-Fi on this one. Actually, let me see if we can get Wi-Fi as well. For around 100 bucks. Yeah, you'd have to go back to B450 because those have taken a heavier discount. Here's the Pro VDH. Excuse me. You've got the USB-C header here, but none on the rear I/O. So yeah, you gotta pick and choose. A320 for the lulz, yeah. All right, we're gonna take the Wi-Fi requirement out. But as you can see, there's so many freaking options for motherboards. It's ridiculous. We'll stick like right at that $100 price point. Where'd it go? Here it is, 100 bucks exactly. This has incompatibilities. What? The motherboard supports, it does support it, BIOS this. If the motherboard is using an older BIOS version. This has got to be a generic, right? Let me look this up just to make sure there's no problem so that you don't have to deal with BIOS flashback and USB thumb drives with no CPU and stuff like that. It always says that, right? Okay, I thought so because the B550 should be more than capable of the entire 5000 lineup. But just to make sure, where's the CPU support list? I'm very confident it is in here. Yeah, so it should be good. And then, oh no. No. Please keep my list. Oh no. Oh, it did keep my list. Oh my goodness. It's because I'm in incognito mode. I thought it wouldn't, I thought it would have started over. All right, we got $17. There are Thermalright coolers that are $17. The Thermalright Assassin 120 refined. Boom, baby. You know what? This is going to be a blacked out build. We're at $1,101. You know what, Demon Mitt? Just because I hate going over budget, even by $1, We're gonna choose the G300A with the plain 1 fan. Oh wait, what? And we're even a healthy amount under it. Due to the mail-in rebates apparently, otherwise it would be $10.98. Don't forget the monitor. No, we do not factor the cost of monitors into the build. But there you have it. This is the $1,100. I mean, what about this build looks super bad in your opinion, if there's anything? $2 left for the OS key. No, $2 left is for chicken sandwich at McDonald's, and you figure out how to get Windows unactivated or something else. I mean, obviously we had to cut corners somewhere, but there are things that I'm not gonna cut corners on, like less than a terabyte and going 16 gigs. Some people, I mean, obviously the CPU has more of like a bearing on the overall performance of the system, but you could make this work easily. If you're playing at 1440p, upping the graphics and stuff, the 5600X, yeah, sure, it'll bottleneck in some situations, but if you spent more money up here and took away from some of these other things, to me that's a bigger problem. And yes, I do understand. We should have just thrown another $100 at this so we could get a better CPU, but that doesn't make it a challenge. When you give yourself a budget that is comfortable to work with, then it makes it just easy. And yeah, sure, you can make a $1,200 4070 Super build. And you probably should, but for the entertainment aspect of it and to make it like, you know, more thought-provoking, worth it for you to like sit around and watch this stream for, I think putting $1,100 was much more, you know, of a fun challenge. My brother in Christ, Windows is free. Just don't look at the bottom right corner. Windows is also free via other methods, which I will not speak on the stream, but there are easy ways to activate Windows for free. The Gen 3 versus Gen 4 drive, yeah, you're right, but that would have, what, shaved $10 off about? Because remember, even the budget NVMe 1 terabytes Gen 3 ones were like $50 or $55 for even the MP33, which was known as like one of the cheaper ones. You could buy, okay, here's the beauty of this list. You're asking why not buy the 4070 Super new and the rest of the parts used? That is a very viable option too. So if anything, this list shows you this is the worst case scenario pricing wise for this build. If you could find everything else used, I bet you could knock another probably $200. Here's the thing about used parts though. Used SSDs aren't going to be that much cheaper than this, unfortunately. Used memory is not going to be that much cheaper than 32 gigs for $55. Used power supplies, it's kind of a crapshoot, but maybe you could find something for closer to $50. Cases, I don't know if you're going to find much cheaper than a $40 G300A. This is with the mail-in rebate, but for $50, that's also not even that bad. Motherboards, yeah, sure, you could probably find a used one or Amazon warehouse one for like $80 maybe. But these parts are still pretty valuable, where you would have to find a deal and it'd be like rarely available. 5600X, how much are these going for on eBay right now? I'm betting not that much cheaper than $146, right? So 5600X, if I wanted to buy one right now, used on eBay, which isn't the best place to buy used parts, but it's a way to get an idea of the pricing. These are going for $140 used with no cooler, it looks like, on eBay. If I wanted to look at OfferUp in my local area, let's see, 5600X. And we've talked about this in previous streams. How much of a discount do you have to get before you consider used? Is it 5%, 10%, 15, 20%? What I'm seeing for the 5600X right now, if we were to look at the pricing. We got $150 here, $200, $150, $145, $145, $150. The pricing is not good in the used market for a processor that's already cheap, brand new. So we'll sort by recent. So we got 150 in Glendale. Yeah, nobody's selling a 5600X for, oh, here's one. Here's the cheapest one so far. 125 bucks. But after you pay on $349 on that, this was listed 28 days ago. Does this even come with the cooler? This looks like it comes from a legit account. They're not showing a picture of the cooler though. They're only showing a picture of this. So, you know, on this list, current gen parts are probably the worst type of parts to try to buy in the used market because they don't have that much of a discount like applied to them yet. They haven't been around for long enough for people to jump ship from them to the newest thing and to you know, get rid of them for a cheap price. And 5600X is not current gen, but it is still very relevant gen, if that makes sense. What is the last piece of PC hardware or tech that you bought for MSRP brand new? I don't think actually, let me see. Nope, even this thing, PC tech. I don't think I often pay MSRP for things. I'm trying to think really hard now. And it's usually because I don't buy things when they're brand new. Like even when I buy like graphics cards and CPUs, it's like a generation old by that point. There's got to be something that I've bought at MSRP though. I can't think of it. Everything for the most part. What it would have been. So to answer this question, I need to think back to what came out at MSRP that was considered super crazy good bang for buck value. It's probably like a PC case or something. It wouldn't have been a processor or graphics card because I am too cheap to buy things at MSRP. But for PC cases, there are plenty of cases that come out because, you know, they're like 40, 50, 60, 70 bucks. It's not like they get that much cheaper once they get older or go on sale. That MSRP, I think specifically for PC cases, is one of the few things that I will be willing to easily buy on release at MSRP without feeling bad about. Not even RAM or CPU. It's kind of hard to also track MSRP of RAM because there's so many brands that come out and they don't even get official launches. That how do you even, what would be considered MSRP of, let's say, DDR4 RAM, and what would you date that to? What year and what month, I guess, right? So it's hard to say that about RAM and SSDs and stuff like that. Well, SSDs, yeah, I'm not buying SSDs on release at MSRP. I'm buying stuff that's like, you know, a year or two old already and taking discounts. Yeah, like what would your guys' answers be to that for some of you? What is the last thing you bought at MSRP? I know some of you bought the 4070 Super, so that would be your answer, but yeah. Darius Thompson says, just watched your LAN party video. The vibes were there and it was amazing. Thank you for the kind words. LAN parties are definitely the vibe, and we are about 2 months away from our next scheduled LAN party. We haven't even planned anything for it yet. We haven't picked a date. So I need to remind the group to do that. Because when you are planning around 15 people, it is sometimes hard to lock in a day that works with everybody. Do PCs, oh, do swap meets for PC parts exist? I've never heard or seen one. I think for specifically PC parts, no. But I'm sure in states where there are regular swap meets, there are vendors or there are stands that do have like PC parts or probably even PC builds, whole PC builds for sale. I wouldn't be surprised. It is easy enough to build cheaper systems to be able to sell at swap meets that I'm sure there are people out there doing it. But PC specific swap meets where everything has to be PC related, I've never heard of that. Rad Robot bought a 3060 for over MSRP. Is it because of the whole pandemic thing? Then, yeah, that's kind of like a not truly answering the question, but we can say it counts just for here. Swap meets have good deals on e-machines, lol. Yeah, and probably like super old systems like that. 12700 KF plus 4070 super good. Already have it. Yeah. That'd be a good pairing. Perfectly fine. You already have the 12700 KF, so that's perfect. I should put this PC part picker in the link. Okay, let's see. What time is it? Oh, it's 6:40, 20 minutes left to stream. I don't think we got any stream submissions. We did not get any stream submissions. Okay, if you guys have anything you want me to look at, we could over on stream submissions on the Discord, which invite link is down below. But other than that, I was just gonna focus on chat for the rest of stream. And eat some of these frozen Skittles that y'all convinced me to buy. Look how big this bag is. This thing is gigantic. I barely worked through any of it. RIP EVGA Bstock. Hold up. Why are you saying RIP? Is it because it's only bad deals? Or did they really take it away? Are you saying it because their deals kind of suck now? They're done making GPUs, but they still have power supplies and AIOs and motherboards and stuff like that. Bstock. What the heck? Wait. Yeah, actually, is it actual RIP Bstock? You can only find Bstock graphics card pages. Interesting. If you go like right here, if you click on this part of the link to the Bstock, it's actually dead. So no more cheap power supplies? That sucks. Hey, what up, Ryan? Death Tech Ryan says, I went to Micro Center yesterday and they had literally no EVGA power supplies. Was there anything in like the tech news about EVGA? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything recent. There was the articles in July where people were speculating that they were like gonna close down offices and stuff. I remember that. But in terms of, let's like look at Amazon. If I want to buy EVGA power supply, are they readily available at decent prices? Is there not gonna be a single power? Okay, so they still have like these cheap white ones for 65 bucks. Yeah, so online, they still have stuff in stock, but no more cheap refurbished ones, huh? James G. Let's see. I registered both online, Amazon. What are we talking about here? Oh, okay. You guys were talking about The Last of Us. I'm trying to think. For The Last of Us key, I thought you could just get a code. Like, after it gets validated, you do get a code, and you could send that code to anyone. Because when I got The Last of Us, yeah, it was Jackson's mom from the Toasty Bros. She actually hooked me up with it. I don't remember having to do any, like, verification or anything like that. She just sent me the code as is. But it might have been from a different promo. You have to run the AMB verification tool. Did I do that? I must have then. And I did have the right cards on hand. Yeah, that's the thing about the codes. I missed out on codes before too. Because I'm like, I'm not going to play this now. I'll let it sit. I might want to sell it or give it to someone. I've had codes expire on me. So if you ever get a free promo game code from like a graphics card launch or something like that, make sure you use them because they do expire. Does the motherboard make a huge difference? Trying to go for the 7800 XTD or 7950 XTD. Too many options to choose from. I would say what's more important is the features that you want. USB ports, Wi-Fi, the different types of connectivity on the board, how many NVMe slots. I would focus more on that and use that to filter down before you go for things like the board's ability to overclock, because I feel like you just asking this question, you're going to be running it at stock. And once you filter all that down, so long as you get like an, you know, like a B650 or whatever, you should be fine. Like you don't need the most high-end board. I think features are more important than overclockability, but that's just me. Jason with the troll question, but it's actually very valid because I feel like people I know a lot of people who spent a lot on their computers only just sit around and play Valorant and League of Legends and stuff all day. Like, bro, you could play that at 1440p on a $500 computer. But yeah, no, dude, I have fun playing games on like a $400 computer. Anytime I'm benchmarking, and if I benchmark a game that I actually am playing at that point in time, I enjoy it almost as much. Obviously, smoother, higher FPS, and better graphics is nice and all, but just the core playing of the game is the majority of the experience for me. Story time, Danny. How did you meet Sean? Sean, we went to the same middle school together. So going into middle school, I went to a different district than I went to elementary school. So I was like, I had to remake all my friends. But I think Sean and the rest of the group, they went to the same elementary school together and stuff. But I met Sean in what grade? 7th. I knew of Sean since 6th grade because we went to the same middle school, but we weren't in the same class until 7th or 8th grade, and then we didn't become closer friends until freshman year of high school, which was age 14. But let me see if I have the picture of Sean from back in the day. I like to show them in LAN party stories just because it's pretty fun to pull up the old school pictures. But yeah, obviously, you know, if you're a gamer or a nerd, you make friends with fellow gamers and nerds very easily. And Sean's a gamer as well, so that's a pretty easy friendship form there. Do I not have the pictures? Oh, I don't have it on here. It's somewhere else on the computer. I need to ask Jan for it. How's the Super versus the TI? The Super is about, I would safely say about 10%-ish slower than the TI. What version of the 4070 Super are you leaning towards? Sorry if you already covered this, no worries. Honestly, so if we look at the pricing of the 4070 Super, I am always a fan of the cards closest to MSRP. I just don't think it's worth spending, if we can even find them. Well, this is a white card, so it's different. But like, I don't think it's worth spending more than 10% of the value for a more overclocked card. I love these cards that sit very close to MSRP. The sort of lowest price. But yeah, if you really want a 3-fan card, this card, I would probably go for this card. It's 610 bucks because there's an active card. No, this is not a Super. What am I doing? Where's the cheapest 3-fan card that we found earlier? Is the cheapest 3-fan card really 650? Even here, like, I would have to look more into, yeah, this one for 630 3-fan. For 30 bucks more or 5% more cost. I've got no issues with using like the Asus Dual, which is a very entry-level card. I know it's not the same thing, but like the 4060 that I used, the Dual, it was fine. Yeah, if you're dead set on 3-fan, it's looking like the MSI Ventus is gonna be it's either the Ventus or the Eagle, but between the two, I'd probably go with the Ventus. They're gonna be close enough in performance that it's gonna be aesthetics that choose it, and this is a more neutral color. If this is out of stock though and this comes back in stock, I mean, aside from the teal highlights, and this is a pretty grayish card, so. It's not necessarily more OC'd all the time. It's just, yeah, you get a bigger heatsink or a bigger cooler as well as lower temps. But that's not to say the 2-fan cards haven't have issues cooling. It won't be as cool, but it'd be fine. It's not going to throttle. It's not going to have issues. You recently bought the 47. Ooh, that kind of stings, given that the 4070 Super Ventus is going for 630 3-fan. But they're out of stock too, so there's that. Hey, what's up, Philip? What were you saying? The price plus adding the yeah, I think, especially depending on where you live, Canada's worse, but like for me, tax is 10%. So anytime I look at something, I'm also moving the decimal point 1 over and saying that's how much tax is on top of it. So with tax included, a $550 card is really a $600 card. A $600 card is a $660 card. So, yeah, never forget about tax, because that makes a big difference. You're not, dude, that is one of the benefits of living in a place that has 10% tax. The downside is that it's 10% tax. The upside is that if you need to calculate tax, you just move the decimal place one over, and that's how much it is. So it's a lot easier to calculate in your head. James G says, this is the first time I've done the live chat thing. This is fun. Thanks for hosting. Thanks for coming, which, by the way, I know YouTube's algorithm is freaking weird and stuff like that, because I have people who have been following me for years, and they say, this is my first time coming to a live. I never knew this was a thing. And I'm like, YouTube, what are you doing? Not pushing my live notifications to my viewers and subscribers every time I go live. But just as a reminder, I'm live every single week, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's West Coast US time. We spend about 2-ish hours talking about whatever's going on in PC tech and troubleshooting for people, answering people's questions, and just hanging out. It's a very chill time, as you probably saw from tonight. Sometimes we do PC part picker lists. We talk about anything that's released recently, what might be coming up, rumors, all that kind of good stuff. So if you just like nerding out and just hanging out in a chill atmosphere, make sure to come back every single week. Dude, the taxes, what is the taxes in Cali? They're bad right now? I thought taxes were still less than Washington State and California though. Yes, I will be checking out the 7600 XT, hopefully having a day one review on it. Google GG says, did I make a bad choice? No, you getting the 7800 XT, when did you get it? If you got it when it released, then definitely you didn't make a bad choice. If you bought it before the 4070 Super was even announced, you didn't make a bad choice. No buyer's remorse there. You bought a card potentially months ahead of time that is cheaper than the 4070 Super, so you're fine. CharlieQ asking questions about a chair. Let's see if we can get to it before the stream ends. And I do have to cut it pretty close to the 2-hour mark because we got dinner and workout time with Melissa. Me and Melissa are trying to keep the working out regimen strong. So, yeah, I need to get on top of that and not draw things out and get distracted by other stuff. But, okay, you posted in the price discussion for a chair. All right, CharlieQ asking about recommendations on chairs, which again, I'm not a chair expert by any means, but it looks like you do choose all mesh chairs, which I am a fan of. All right, so we're looking at the Focus Model Agent armchair in, okay, no description. So 210, 207, and 179. So let's take a look at all these. You don't have, I wish you would have posted full links for them. But, so we're looking at 210 for this one. I don't like these style of armrests. And I don't like this bar. It's hard to explain, but my armrests are adjustable up and down. These armrests are adjustable on like the pivot point rotation. So you don't have real height adjustability, it looks like on these. You just have, you put them up to like get them out of the way, or you put them down. For the most part. Not a fan of that. This is what I'm more a fan of, where you can have them up and down adjustment. This chair does have a cushioned seat, which, do these all have cushioned seats? They do. Depending on your weight, if you're a smaller person, mesh on the cushion won't sag as much and all of that. But between these two chairs, this one looks very similar to the Hyken, actually, from Staple. I would choose this one out of just looking at, without seeing like the product page, feature list, or something like that. I would pick this one out of the 3. And that one is going for, wow, and it goes for $179. That was price aside. Price aside, you know, $179 or $153, I would have chosen it just based on looking at the chairs. And like their armrests and cushions and stuff like that. Danny, which members of the LAN party lives out of state? Jesse lives in Idaho. Sean lives in Oregon. I'm trying to think. Then everybody else lives in state. Is this a true statement? Yes. Everybody else lives in state. Aside from them two. Funny thing about the mesh chairs, I've had the cats climb on the chair. The thing about the mesh is that it's not like a cloth mesh. It's a plastic mesh. Like, let's see if I can show. This stuff is very durable. The cats have climbed on this multiple times. Let me see if I can show it on the... So this stuff right here, when you scratch it, like, I don't know if this shows it that well. Because it's actually like plastic or polyester or whatever the heck this material is. Like, I've had the cats climb up on this multiple times. I don't see a single snag or tear in it. So obviously, it depends on the chair. This one is a plasticky mesh. The one from here, I can't tell by the picture. If it's a softer cloth mesh, then yeah, having pets might not be a good idea to get a chair like this. But not all meshes are created equal. This one actually looks like it might be a softer cloth mesh, just from this picture. Hazard Me, you have the same chair as this? You have the Dexley from Staples? Nice. I love this chair. Do a fan meetup at your home. We will all come. Heck no. Doing a fan meetup in general, I'm very curious. I don't like. It would be fun to do, but I feel like just because people live far away, they're busy and stuff like that, if I don't have the following that's big enough where if I did a fan meetup, more than like one person would come. Unfortunately, I don't even know if one person would come. But yeah, I'm not as big as like, you know, when Jay and Kyle and Paul, when they do fan meetups, and it's because I think when they usually do those fan meetups, they like sell stuff too. So they like attract like hundreds of people, but they're multiple, like tens of times bigger than me. So their hundreds equals to like one person meeting up if I ever did one. Can you do a fan meetup at Jason Whitmer's house instead because more cats? How many cats are you at now, Jason? Have you gotten rid of or gained any since I've been there? Have you had bad experience with Racer gaming chairs? Not necessarily. I've never used a racing chair long term. I've sat in them just because multiple of my friends have had different racing chairs over the years. Like when they bring them to the LAN party, I sit in them and stuff like that. It's just, I personally don't even like the look of racing chairs. They also feel like overly bulky, if you know what, like if you take a look at a mesh chair versus a racing chair, A racing chair just looks bulkier and it's not as simplistic. I don't know. Aesthetically, I don't like them. And then price wise, I know there are like some cheap generic brands, but if you're talking about like the original racing chair brands, well, like what? Ewin Racing, where are those brands? You can list them off. They traditionally were really expensive. So yeah, I've never been a fan. Can you buy me a gaming chair for my studies by seeing my report card, please? Unfortunately, not. Unfortunately, I don't give people who ask for things. If you've noticed, most of my videos, when I did give stuff away, it's not because people have asked for it. So that's the common trend here. So you ruined your chances of ever getting a free gaming chair from me, essentially. I searched Linward OfferUp every day hoping to find a giveaway from you. Yeah, I'm due for doing one of those. I haven't done one of those in a while. Danny, choose one fan to join your LAN party, and if he misbehaves, have Jan take him out with his giant sword. Oh man, yeah. I don't think fans coming to a LAN party, unfortunately, I don't think that will ever be a thing. Just because of the privacy issues and even bringing in other people that we know to the LAN group. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, we're like at max capacity. My place has the most room for a LAN party, and even at this last one, we basically took up the entire basement. In terms of desk space and sleeping space, there's no more room to grow. Bringing fans to a LAN party would be insane. Would you invite a stranger to a family dinner? Yeah, I think that's kind of the same mindset. And it's worse because at least a family dinner is like a quick thing. The LAN party, if you don't know somebody, you're potentially spending up to 3 days with them and sleeping in the same quarters or, you know, in the same building as them. It's very different. Yeah, I have to rent. We gotta like rent. It just doesn't make sense though. To rent something to host one of these types of LAN parties, it makes the cost of like having the LAN parties go exponentially up, right? Like having to rent an Airbnb, any of those things, it kills it in terms of price to performance. Every LAN party, we throw like 20 to 30 bucks to one person, and that covers every meal, all the snacks, everything. That wouldn't even cover, well, it might cover, I don't know, when you get Airbnbs and stuff, they have limits, right? And if you go over the limit and they find out, you can get in trouble. Trying to find a house that can host 15 people for 3 nights, or 2 nights, I guess, that's in Washington, that'd be expensive. That would be like 2 times our normal LAN budget. We only ever get like anywhere from like $400 to $500 in the food pot. It's actually a little bit less than that. But that's like 1 night of a rental of an Airbnb that's nice and big. And you gotta make sure they have good internet. Imagine getting an Airbnb and they have like crappy Comcast internet that's data capped and has slow upload speed. Heck no. Can you bring the LAN party outside like your backyard? Dude, Washington weather is all over the place. And in the morning, even in the summers, it could be dewy sometimes. You don't want your computer exposed to that. Not to be that guy, but I think, yeah, I am reaching the 2 hours and 10 minutes. Thank you for the reminder, 40KQ. I appreciate it. I think Kevin reminded me earlier too. But, all right. Let's see. I think the next piece of content is gonna be, actually, I can't say that because it's technically, I think, under NDA, so I can't talk about it. But thanks everyone for attend the stream. I do have stuff in the works. Trying to pump out more of the YouTube shorts as well. But we will have news next week as well. So next week's stream should also be fun to talk about. But yeah, other than that, if you guys haven't seen the LAN party video yet, it's live now. So definitely go check that out. And I'm going to get ready for dinner and working out. So hope everyone has a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week and a great weekend coming up. Stay safe out there. And I will see you in the comments of all the different stuff, as well as in the next stream next week, same time as always. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.